Hello, everyone. It's me, Madam Pamita, and the Love Witch. We're here to do readings for you. Oh my gosh, I'm really tired today.
Me too. It's
So
been one of those
tired.
days.
Oh my gosh, I was so tired today. I, I really, I really like slept till 9 a.m., which I never do. Even if I go to bed at 2 or 3 in the morning, I still wake up at 7:30 or 8. I slept till 9. It was amazing, but I'm really tired. I don't know if I overslept, slept too much or what, but yeah. Anyway, yes. So we're here, tired or not, we're still showing up because, seniors in Ukraine still need food, even if we're tired. So we are doing a fundraiser called Tarot for Kindness. This is our way to raise funds for seniors in Ukraine with our partners, Subotin Harbor. So we are partnered with a grassroots organization in Ukraine. It's just a few people buying groceries. They buy 2 weeks worth of groceries for the seniors, deliver them to their home, whatever they need, whatever their need or want. Sometimes they deliver things like medical things that they need, medicine, things like that, things that they need just to have a decent, you know, dignified life. Oftentimes, these seniors are homebound. They can't get out. They certainly can't work. They're in their 70s and 80s and 90s. And oftentimes, these deliveries are the difference between starvation, hunger, and having something good to eat. So, by you donating money to get a tarot reading with me and the Love Witch, you are actually getting something. You're getting that wonderful tarot reading, but you're also helping these seniors, and this is something near and dear to our heart. So today I will be doing readings using the Ask the Witch tarot, which is this cute deck by Wiser, Red Wheel Wiser, publishes this deck. It is, I thought, seasonally appropriate for as we are moving into Halloween season. Why not do a little witchy deck? So it's got, look at these cute cards. They're a
I
little
love it so much.
shiny. You can see the ring light, but look at like Six of Wands. They got witches all over them. All kinds of witches, right? So cute.
It's great.
That's a tough gal witch. She got a sword. Um, yeah, look at all these cute witches. So that's what we're doing. I'm using that. What are you going to be using, Love Witch?
I was doing some cleaning earlier, and I kept finding charms in like every corner of my room. So I'm gonna do some charm casting.
I love it. I love it. One of the things that I've been thinking about with charms. By the way, if you have not seen my post on Instagram, we got about 100, only 100, so you gotta get it now or never, of these little gemstone pumpkins. They're made out of gemstone. They're a little pumpkin charm, and if you don't know, pumpkins are a symbol of prosperity. Lots of cultures, they're a symbol of prosperity. So this is a little prosperity charm, but I thought, oh my gosh, somebody could use that in their charm casting kit.
Oh my
We
gosh, yeah,
give,
that'd be
we
perfect.
give what?
That would be perfect.
I have to save one. I'll set one aside for you. Just tell me which
I'll
gemstone you
place
want,
an
and I'll set
order. Okay, cool.
it. Place an order. Okay. Um, but we have these little gemstone pumpkin charms, which are so good for like prosperity, growth, magic. I mean, there's something so special, I think, about this symbol of the pumpkin. It represents our fall harvest. I mean, if you look at the traditional Three of Cups in the Rider Waite deck, here it is, right here. Look what's in the corner here. So this is a celebration. Look what she has in the corner, a pumpkin, right? So that pumpkin representing prosperity is really been seen in so many cultures and so many, obviously pumpkins originated in the Americas, but we see them, all over Europe and all over the place being a symbol of that beautiful prosperity. So I just like when I put these like little charms as the free gift in, I mean, just so happens that we have this pumpkin, that's the charm. But I always think, gosh, if you have a charm set, these little charms that you get as a free gift in the orders that we send out are just this little bonus. And you could just, with your orders, keep adding to your charm set, your charm casting set.
I
So
think I've accumulated like a full tarot deck for my orders too, because I save all the little fortune cards. Somehow I've
yeah,
never received a repeat, by the way, which is
you
really
haven't?
magical. No, never.
Oh my
Never.
gosh,
Every single one I've ever received in there is no duplicate.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
Though I can imagine you though being like you're like at 77 cards and you need that one card and you're just like got to complete my collection, got to catch them all. Um, I think of that, like really, it's funny that you say that because I had another customer once who messaged me and she goes, "Do you only send out Queen of Pentacles? Is that the only card you send out?" She goes, "My last three orders, I've gotten through Queen of Pentacles." And I'm like, that is
Wow,
crazy.
that's
That is
incredible.
wild. There is a real message there for you. You keep getting the same car. Isn't that wild? So, yeah. So somebody had the opposite where they kept getting the same car, and they thought, "Is that all you're sending?" Which is a really funny concept to think about. No, we send out all of the cards, including the cards that are a little tricky. Like the Devil card and the Tower. But the message on the card will tell you. Those cards are so great. They come from the what's it called, that deck? I can't remember. Oh, man, my brain is foggy
I can
today.
tell.
Um, I know my brain is so tired today. That deck is such a great deck though, because it really does have these wonderful, like five little possibilities for what that card can mean in a reading. And even the trickier cards like Tower, Three of Swords, and the ones that nobody likes to see, all of those. They have really good messages on them that can be very insightful for your situation. And that's why I love that deck. So we send these little fortune cards that have the tarot card and the little interpretation, and you're supposed to ask a question and then open it up. So yeah,
The deck is
I
called
really think.
Practical Tarot Wisdom.
Thank you, Practical Tarot Wisdom. Such a good deck. Love that deck. So we also sell that deck if you're new to tarot and you want a little kind of training wheels deck, what I would call a training wheels deck that has the meaning of the cards written on the cards. It's like they're really great. Half the card is like the picture, and then the other half is the meaning. And it can be like training wheels for doing readings if you don't want to look up in a book. And I find those readings, those meanings to be pretty accurate and in the realm of what the possibilities for that card are. So it's a good one. All right, so we are going to do we're going to do readings today. I think, did we get somebody making a donation? I saw
Um,
something happen.
I haven't seen anything come through yet, but if you've
Okay.
sent a donation, let us know in chat.
Yes. So if you want to donate, you can make a donation, and you can donate through PayPal, Venmo, or Super Chat down below. 100% of the proceeds are going to feed seniors in Ukraine. We send the money over to Sabotin Harbor. Literally the day we send the money, it's like early in the morning in Ukraine right now. Once they get that money, they go out and they purchase groceries and they deliver groceries today. So you can have your donation make an impact on someone in the next 24 hours, a positive, beautiful, a wonderful impact. Many times the stories, if you follow Yulia on Facebook, gosh, I can't even think anymore. Follow Yulia, who is the head of Sabotin Harbor. She posts the stories and the pictures of the seniors with their groceries. But she posts stories too, and some of the stories are like these seniors being like, having tears, like tearful gratitude for the gift of these groceries. That's the difference you're making. I mean, you are touching somebody's heart. You are touching somebody and transforming their fear. I mean, what a beautiful thing to do with money, right? That our money could buy groceries that take these seniors out of the fear of, what am I going to eat today? I have no way of making any more money. I have a pension. And their pensions are incredibly small. They're so small. So you have saved them from having to make a decision like, do I buy medicine or do I buy food? Do I have heat in my house or do I have food? Those are the kinds of decisions they're having to make. And so by you making this donation, you are alleviating that fear. And what a beautiful gift to someone who is in a country that is being attacked mercilessly and in the most disgusting way being attacked. So, yeah, this is what you can do. So, if you make a donation, you could make a donation on these QR codes will come up. You can make a donation on PayPal. You can make a donation on Venmo. You can make a donation by going to Super Chat down below. Once you make your donation, go into the chat, type how much you donated, where you donated, and what your question is. And then we will read the cards for you. It's $10 per card. So you could do a 1-card reading for $10, 2 cards for $20, 3 for $30, 4 for $40, and so on. $40 feeds a senior for 2 weeks. And Leslie, amazing. You are amazing. You made a $40 donation. You're feeding a senior for 2 weeks. You're transforming somebody's life, which is such a kind thing to do. So did Leslie put her question? General reading. Thank you so much, Leslie. Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you. Oh, and by the way, when I say 100% of your donation is going to feed seniors, I do mean 100%. I cover the fee. So Venmo, Super Chat, you know, all of the places they take out a fee when you make when you send money. I cover that fee, and I just donate the whole $40 in this case. So your 100% of your donation is going, not even going to Venmo. I'm covering it for you. All right, so let's see what you got with this cute little deck. Ask the Witch. General reading for Leslie. Thank you so much, Leslie. I want to remind everybody that next week I will be doing readings at the Crest in Long Beach, California for Madame Ozma's Witches Ball, which is a super fun event that she holds every year. It's a fundraising event, and I do readings for donations. This year, the donations are going to homeless vets. All right, let's see what we got here. You got a man, this is awesome. You've got like some real good energy going on. I feel like, you know, it's, if I'm going to read each card, but in general, as I look at these cards, it's like you've got this empowerment energy going on, and it's time to make a decision that will move you into kind of greater leadership roles, into being like, into moving into some kind of, I think of this leader energy. You've got, I don't feel like you're accessing that leader energy, and you have this opportunity, but you've got to like you have to do some kind of focus, I would call it. Definitely focus. All right. So your first card is the Strength card. Oh my gosh, look at this beautiful card. So here we have this Joan of Arc kind of witch, I would call her, with this fire energy. The fire's in the shape of a lion. Do you see that? But I think, you know, what's fascinating about this card is I think of that aspect of strength that is also courage, right? To go fight a fire takes courage. You have to like know, you know, be very prepared, but you also have to go into some situations and face some very scary things, right? So the Strength card is really saying to me that you have this amazing inner strength, this amazing capacity for doing big things, and you're not afraid. Or if you, let's say you're not fearless, you have courage. There's a difference between fearlessness and courage, right? Fearlessness is like kids doing stupid things. I'm going to ride my bike off the roof, like evil, you know, or whatever kids do, you know, and then they break their arm, right? That's fearlessness of a child, because a child doesn't know the consequences of jumping off the roof on their bike, right? So that's fearlessness. Courage, on the other hand, knows what's at stake, but I'm still going to do it anyway. Now, courage, it doesn't take courage to ride your bike. Well, I guess it does in a way, take courage to ride your bike off the roof, but it's more fearlessness. Courage is, I'm going to, what?
It takes stupidity to do that. Come on.
Yeah, I didn't want to be that mean, but fearlessness is kind of stupid, right? But courage is this aspect of I walk off the cliff on a regular
I love that
basis. Yeah,
so
I
much.
love that, Leslie. So, it's courage is like knowing that you've got the skills, right? So, like, look at her. She's a witch with armor on, right? So like she's prepared. She's not going into this situation unprepared, but she also has to face what can be something that's a little scary. And so I think that what you want to look at is that fear of I want to do that thing, or I want to accomplish that goal, or I have a desire to do that, but I'm holding back in some way. And this is saying to you, like, okay, now's your time to step up. Now's the time to step into the fire, knowing that you are protected, knowing that you're safe, being well prepared. I think the difference between courage and fearlessness is the kid jumping off the roof versus somebody doing a motorcycle stunt that's equally dangerous as going off the roof, but they prepared for it. They've trained for it. They've got the equipment on. You know what I'm saying? It's a different thing. Courage is preparation and knowing that there is danger, but still doing it. And in this case, I don't feel like it's for you doing something wild and crazy. You are trying to achieve something. There's a goal to it also as well. And like firefighters going into a building, they're prepared, they wear the equipment, they have the respirators, they've been trained, they've gone through the training, so they can let the training take over. And if they feel that fear, they will feel the fear and do it anyway. So healthy fear is good, but fear that holds us back from being our full authentic self is what you want to confront. And so I think for you, Leslie, it's like recognizing there's something that you want that's over there. There's some fear that you're feeling, but knowing that you have the skills, that you have the preparation, that you're to do it and then doing it, then finally doing it, right? As opposed to always being in preparation and never doing it. So that's the first card. Temperance card is the second card. Look at this cool witch. Oh my gosh, I love these witches on these cards. So cute, right? Um, so we have the Temperance Witch. She has 1 foot in the water, 1 foot on the land. That's almost shows up in every temperance card, which is this idea of we're dipping into the spirituality, but we're also grounded in our, grounded on the land as well. Um, Grounded in the material, that there's a solidity there. But I also think of temperance as being an alchemist. And look at, she really is doing some alchemy. She's making some kind of potion there. She's got some herbs. A little bird has helped her. She's got these beautiful crows around her, the wings represented by the angel, the wings of the crows around her. These irises that are there. Oh my gosh, there's so much in this card. I love this. So I think of this temperance as like doing something that is going to, oh my gosh, thinking of selling my house. This makes total sense. Oh my gosh, I love it. And look at the house in the background, right? So when there's a fear factor in that. Like if you're thinking of selling your house, I think you would be crazy not to feel a little bit of hesitation or fear about selling that house, because what is your next move? What are you going to do? Where are you going to buy? Where are you going to live? Right? Having that plan in place will calm that. Temperance is this idea that we're going to marinate something a little bit, right? I always think of temperance. Often people will say temperance is like you have to have patience. Well, it makes sense. She's an alchemist. And alchemy isn't something like I put this with this and then everything transforms. It's like you have to let things do their thing, right? Think about this. A form of alchemy that we all have done, or most of us have done, is to bake a cake, right? We put flour or cake mix if we're lazy. Don't want to do all the work. I mean, that's me, cake mix. And you put the egg in and the oil and the water or the milk or whatever you put in there, and then you mix it, but it's not a cake. Just mixing it is not a cake. It needs time. You need to put it in and heat. You need to put it in the oven and you need to let the oven do its thing, right? you're not actively doing anything at that point. You're putting it in there and letting it do its thing. And I think about alchemy being that way. I think about this card being that. There's so much that you can do. And then at some point, you've got to let it do its thing. Magic is like that, spells are like that. I can probably count on one hand, definitely not two hands, one hand, the times that I have done a spell and seen an instant result. It is so rare. I have done so many hundreds of spells for myself, thousands of spells for other people. And on my hand, I can literally count the times I've done a spell and seen an instant result. That is not the usual case. We have to let things marinate. We are doing alchemy. So I think that there's a part of this process that is putting it out there, that you're putting out this idea of selling your house, and it's going to take some time. So with that in mind, knowing that you don't have control over everything, you are not going to go to people's houses and bring them to your open house, right? You have to energetically do some magic to attract the right buyers. That would be a great thing to do, to bring the right buyers to your home, to open up the opportunity for you to get your new place that you're going to live. And all of that requires that alchemy that's like putting the cake in the oven. You do all of your work, all of your spell work, all of your practical work. And then at some point, you've got to let the oven do its thing. You've got to let the universe do its thing. What I love about this is that this is like endings and new beginnings, right?
Mhm.
10 of Swords. I do see this, 10 of Swords is an interesting card. Nobody likes to see this card. I wonder why. I don't know why they don't like seeing it. Because it can mean other things. But among the things that it means a defined ending to something. I call this card one chapter closing and a new chapter opening up. That's what happens when you move. If you're moving to a new city, you're ending your chapter where you live in the old city or the old town, and you're moving to a new place. You're going to have new neighbors, you're going to have new things to do, new things to see, all kinds of great things. But you're not going to have the old things anymore. So you have to make your peace with that. 10 of Swords can be an interesting card to show up in a reading because it's a neutral card. As much as you look at this card and say, that looks like a negative card, that witch was stabbed in the back. There is an ending, but a new day ahead, right? That's what's in the background. So if you are experiencing something difficult, 10 of Swords can be a welcome relief. It means you're going to never have to go back to that thing again. If you are having something that's pretty wonderful, what that tells you is a new wonderful thing will come to you. Yes, you might be a little, oh my gosh, I'm graduating high school. I'm going to miss all my friends, seeing all my friends every day. But you're going to have college to look forward to, and new friends, and new activities, and new classes, and new experiences. So we don't want to get stuck on the ending part, even if it's something that we love. You might love your house, right? But you can have a new house to love. You can have a wonderful relationship that ends and have a new wonderful relationship. And that's what 10 of Swords represents. As I mentioned earlier, it's time for you to step up into leadership. You have the Emperor card. This is a really interesting
Cool.
card. I'm like, what am I looking at here? Okay, it's super small. I'm got old person eyes, so it was hard for me to see. But there's a witch sitting on a throne. Do you see her?
Oh, there she is. Yeah, I do.
Yeah. You see her sitting on the throne with like a black mask on. So this is time to step up into your power. Look at that energy of that card. It's like to step up into your throne, to get into your power, to get into that energy. I think the Emperor card is such a powerful card of you stepping into a leadership role. Oh my gosh, look at this, Leslie saying, moving forward from memories, clearing and cleaning, knowing what I'm using my Deluxe Parlor of Wonders Halloween spell kit for. Thank you.
Nice.
Yeah, so that you have a new experience. I'm wondering if there's like with that Emperor card showing up, it's like an empowering experience. Emperor is totally empowered. So whether it's like the clearing, the cleansing, the minimizing, the moving to the new place, I think this is going to be really positive. You won't move back to your old place. I think if you have a feeling of like, well, maybe I can always move back here. That's not a reality, or not showing up in the cards. It would take a lot of effort to do that. But your new place is going to be phenomenal and empowering. And this whole experience is empowering. So I love that, Leslie. Thank you so much for your donation. Oh, you are the best. Thank you. Thank you. All righty. Next on the list, we have Seasick Music, then we have Devon, then we have Canaan Mother, then we have Coraline. Okay. Oh,
I
you
have a
got your thing. Sorry, I'm
charm.
jumping ahead. Sorry, Lovewood.
Definitely time to sell your house. I got this castle charm. So there are castles in your future, and you need to get to those. You're not going to get those by staying in place. I think this is a really nice reminder too. Sometimes we can get really precious about the place we live, right? I know for me, my previous apartment, I was like, there is no better place than this. I couldn't live anywhere better. And so I had a lot of fear of losing that place. I moved out of that place and I moved somewhere better. And now I can't even imagine going back there. So don't limit your thinking, and don't tell yourself that like you found the very best thing, because it's really going to stop you from lots of great opportunities that are even better than what's in front of you now. So yes, get excited and start treating your home like a castle, right? Start treating yourself like the queen of that castle and calling that in even faster. Right now is a really great time to be going through your things. And as you pick up each thing, think, does this belong in my castle, or does this need to go live some other life? So it can be a good time to start paring down now too.
I think that castle too is a great symbol of like envisioning. We have that saying, castles in the air, right? Which is like dreaming your big blue sky dream, right? Your big dream. Envision your new place. If you don't have your new place set up, or where you're going to go, or know anything about where you're going to be living next, start to think about what your wish list is for manifesting that place, right? I want a big garage, or I want lots of land, or I want to live close to, really nice people, or whatever it is. Think about that thing that you want. All right. So, oh my gosh, Adrija, we haven't seen you in so long. It's great to see you. Okay. So next is Seasick Music, then Devon, then Canaan Mother, then Coraline, then Adrija. Okay. Thank you so much, Seasick Music. You sent $10 via Venmo. A 1-card reading. Wonderful. My question is, I've been shopping my album to labels and not finding the right match. Any guidance on what might be blocking, or how to attract a good fit? Have you done any spell work around it? Would be my first question. Have you done any spell work? It might be time to do a spell, to think about, just as we were saying with the castles, think about your perfect label that you'd like to be aligned with. Is it an indie label where you get a lot of creative freedom? Is it a big label where you have the potential to make lots of money? What are you thinking of in terms of your label? Don't think about the name of the label, but the qualities of the label. So don't say, I want to be on this label, because what you might look at it from the outside and say, that's where I want to be, but it may not have the qualities that you want. So I would say the best way to do this is to make a list of those qualities. My Magic 21 is my favorite petition paper for this. If you want to make a little petition paper for it, take a paper and pick your top 21 qualities of your perfect label, your perfect experience with a label, and write those out. Then put that underneath a candle. Oh my gosh, there's so many candles you can do. You could do the horseshoe candle. Lucky horseshoe candle is great for this, which is about like having success and victory and luck and all of those things that you need. It kind of encompasses everything you need. So you could get a lucky horseshoe candle spell and do that. Or you could do a fame and fortune vigil candle would be great. That could be another way you could work. So I would say you make that petition paper for sure. But let's take a look and see what the cards have to say. Wow. Look at this. Look at this. This is Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords is like reiterating everything I just already said, basically. So first of all, whenever we ask a question like a yes, no question, and sort of hidden in your question is a yes, no question. Am I going to get on a good label? Is this going to happen? This is a card that's yes. Not only is it a yes, but it has that that crown of victory on top of the sword. There's the crown of victory. So this is a card in a competitive situation. This is a card you want to see. And getting onto a label is competitive. It's not easy. Not everyone that, tries to get on a label gets on a label. So this is such a positive card for getting that. Now, what another element of this card is that it is the swords, the Ace of Swords, and swords is about communication. Well, music is a form of communication. And so it supports you doing that. It supports you reaching out to these labels. I would even say that perhaps maybe you want to think about this. I come from the music business. Like in that I was in a band and I was also a booker. I learned so much. Oh my gosh, I learned so much by being a booker about what bands need to know. This is like the thing. I learned so much about what bands do right and what bands do wrong. I had done all the wrong things and some right things too. But one of the things I realized is from the booker standpoint, now this is not related to your directly related to question, but you're going to get it. From the booker standpoint, if somebody sent me an email and says, "Hey, book my band for your show," first of all, I don't know them. If I don't know them, I didn't know them. Who are you? I don't know anything about you. If you want to come and you're a local person and you want to come and do a show at our club, why not come down to the club and say hello and meet me? I'm there every week. I did a club in Los Angeles. I started a club in Los Angeles called Grand Old Echo, which was alt country music. It was fun, super fun. I did it for a few years and then passed the baton to somebody else. It's still going strong, I think.
Cool.
Still going strong. Who knows? I don't know. Anyway, the point of it is, I was like, wow, I remember many times I would ask a booker, "Hey, will you book me?" I didn't bother going down to the club. I'm like, oh, now I get it. It's like, go down to the club, make an effort, see it from the label's perspective. Now, as a writer, I see things from the publisher's perspective, from the agent's perspective, from the person reading the book's perspective. I always try and place myself in their shoes. So, what can you do to place yourself in the shoes of the labels and the people that are the A&R people? I don't know if there's still A&R people. Back in the day when I was in music, there were. So, like, what is it that they want to see? Right? It's not what benefits you. They're not a charity. They're not giving you signing you to a contract because they, want to give away contracts. They're signing you to a contract because it benefits them. So if you can think and figure out, which is such a big part of the swords, like getting very rational and in your head and thinking, and if you can think about what their position is, how does this benefit them? That's what is going to help you. Now, in terms of books, I could tell you, because now I'm an author world. I'm not in music world very much anymore. I still go see shows and things like that, but I'm not actively in music world, right? There are books out there that, there's an amazing book out there, it's called How to Get Signed, but it's about how to get an agent, a book agent, right? It's written by a book agent. I'm wondering if there are some books, the equivalent books that are out there for music people. Music world has changed so much in the last 10 years. But I can guarantee you that there is some information. Or if you know somebody who works at a label, even if it's not the label you want to go to, ask them what can help you get your foot in the door, because there are solutions to this and there are things, but you definitely have to be thinking about it from the perspective of the label, not from the perspective of the musician. And once you crack that code, it's a game changer. I learned so much about booking from being a booker that when I was booking my bands, I knew now the secrets because I had been a booker. Maybe it's getting a job at a label. Maybe it's getting a job at a label, even like an intern job, so you can get that connection and you can also see how the system works. That would be a paid or, a free education on how to get signed. So talk to people in the business from the other side if you can. um, find out that information through books or through videos or articles or whatever, and maybe get your foot in the door that way. But this is a great success card. So you're on the right path. You're going to get success with this. But the cracking of the code part is the part of the Ace of Swords, I think. So.
That's so exciting. You said talk to people who work at the label, but if you don't know people like that, talk to people who have been signed by labels. Ask, what did you do? How did you get at the door at your label? I also think I pulled this little skull charm. It's really tiny, so it's hard to see. I love how the eyes are fully open on this, though. You can see right through them. So open your eyes up to all kinds of possibilities. But this tells me, like, yeah, you have to get into the head of the person who's going to sign you. So really thinking about what's going to benefit them and what they're looking for. And, make yourself, present yourself in a way that really highlights those characteristics, because you have them, and you just have to figure out what it is that they're looking for, what's missing from their current roster or from their business that you can help them with. If you don't know anybody who's signed to a label, maybe take a look and see if you can find some bands who have recently been signed that haven't made it super big yet, so they might still be reachable, right? Send a DM, see if you can get some advice.
Yeah. I always think like everybody in a business is like, what's in it for me? So another trick for music that I learned. Oh my gosh, it's like I knew by the time I kind of dipped out of it, I knew all the ins and outs. But one of the things that I would do is like, oh, I want to get a show. I'm a kind of coming in kind of band. I want to get a show with this bigger band. If I go to that band and say, hey, put us on a show, it's me and 50 other people that are saying that. But if I go to that bigger band and go, hey, I'll get you a show if we can play with you. And then I would go to the bookers and I go, I got this bigger band and we want to do a show together. So I would do like the work to get that. And that way we would get an opening slot with the bigger band that was a kind of good thing. So, I mean, there's all kinds of little tricks like that. But I think the main thing in music business for sure is to like, you got to do something for them, right? That's it. If you do something for somebody else, they're going to be more amenable, right? When I was a booker, people would come to this thing. And if I met them in person and I got a vibe for them, that was really helpful. But also they were showing up week after week at the club that I was booking. I paid attention to that. And that meant they're investing in this club. They're not just there taking. So I think that's a great thing to keep in mind. Like, what are you giving? What are you doing? Right? In the book business, right now, I'm finding it's like you do your PR. You don't sit on your back and wait for the book company to do your PR for you. So, these are the kinds of things you realize. And the more you do those things, the more invested you are in the success for everybody, the more likely they're going to be like, oh, this is a person who's going to work hard, for promoting their album or whatever. If you're that kind of a promotional person, that can go a long way as well, So best of luck with that seasick music. And I love following bands and things, like we were just talking about this earlier, following people. If you're on Instagram, send me a DM and I'll follow you. So I love following interesting, creative people doing interesting and cool and fun things. So yeah.
By the way, I know what a booker is, but every time you say you were a booker, I picture you as a bookie.
I thought you were going to say you hear hooker.
No. I don't picture you as a hooker at all. Just as a bookie.
Really lazy hooker. I don't have time for that. So, yeah, bookie, going around collecting bets. Come on, place your bets. Booker for a club. It means you're picking out the bands that play. You know what a booker is, right? You're picking out the bands we're going to play. Putting together shows that with bands go together, and you think that people will like. That's a good booker, by the way. We learned. Also, another thing I learned: if you're on some club where the bands are not compatible in the sense musically, they got a little bit of this, that, and the other. That's not a good show. It's not going to benefit you in any way. You got to get on a show with that people will stick around to see you, or if they come early, they'll like you because you're in some way connected to the other band. That's how you do it. So I should teach classes on, man, how to be in a band. But I don't know all the things now. It's so different. In the last 10 years, oh my gosh, everything has changed in music. So I'm a terrible person actually to do that because I could go back in time and do that. But nowadays it's such a different scene. So yeah. Well, thank you, Seasick Music. We appreciate your donation. Devon is next, then Kanan Mother, then Corlin, then Adrija, then Les. All right. Thank you, Devon. Feeding a whole granny. Oh my gosh, you're amazing. We love you. Devon, I have to talk to you. I need to have a conversation with you because we had talked about planning a retreat or something, and I want to do it. And I know you're so good at that. So we need to have a conversation. All right. So let's take a look for Devon. All right. Thank you to everyone who's just coming and hanging out and watching too. We know there's some lurkers here. We enjoy the lurkers. It's fun to have you hanging around. I kind of imagine you. I'm all into this body doubling thing, right? Because I'm an ADD person and I need body doubling. So like I'll turn on videos of people folding clothes while I fold my clothes, which is the dumbest thing in the world, I know, but it works, right? So I'm like, oh, could people body double to this? They could listen to us doing readings while they're doing their chores, right? Be kind of fun, right? While you're washing your dishes or folding your clothes or doing your homework. I don't know, whatever you're doing on a Sunday night. All right. So Devon, let's see what you got. Okay. Oh my gosh, so cute. I don't know these cards very well and they're kind of in the shadow, so I have to kind of look at this. Is a great week for you, Devon. Great week. So first card to show up is the High Priestess. Look at these cards. I love them so much. There's why I love these cards so much? You're going to be like, why do you love them? Because they've got a lot of details that are symbolic details. And then but they're different, right? So I can look and see like, well, what's different about this? Look at this one. She's half young and half old. She's got an old wrinkly arm and then a smooth young arm. She's got an old wrinkly half of her face and then a smooth half of her face. Like so many details. And look at the leaves around her. She's in kind of a temple, but it's like in a cave. Oh my gosh, there's so many things, right? I love this. All right. Or is she buried in something? I don't know. It's like, you can just like kind of lose yourself in this card. So High Priestess energy is about your own wisdom. Like I love this idea of the young and old mixed in this High Priestess as well. Because it's like, it's saying like within you, no matter what age you are, you contain wisdom and you contain youthful energy, right? Youthful, optimistic, open energy. And I think that summarizes this card, that High Priestess card, is that you can still be your optimistic self, your open self, your unjaded self, your willing to look with fresh eyes, but also still simultaneously can carry experience and wisdom. Isn't that amazing on this card? That doesn't show up in the normal High Priestess. I'm just getting that from this card. So what this tells me, Devon, is that you've got this amazing wisdom within you. I know you, so I know you have this like openness, that Gemini fairy energy, right? But you also have this like deep wisdom within you, and that is wanting to come to the forefront, that wisdom. So I value both of those things. Sometimes we don't value those things in ourselves. And so I want you to value both parts of you. Perfect for Gemini. Oh my gosh, this card is perfect for Gemini. You've got those diverse facets to yourself that may even seem contradictory. How can you be old and young? You can't be both old and young. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. And so this is an opportunity for you to show both sides of that, or to live in the paradox of being both wise and naive, being having experience, but also having an openness and innocence too. So cultivating that this week is so important for you, and to value both of them. That means when someone says to you, I'm coming to you for an experienced, wise thing, don't diminish and go, well, I'm not wise, right? You have to honor that within yourself. Or if someone says to you, you are so open, oh, I'm not open. Yeah, you are. You just have to like lean into those things and honor those things. All right, Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords. I love this card because, okay, this card has a full range of meanings. I'm seeing this to you to asking for what it is that you want. Asking for things, right? This little witch is taking these swords and she's like, these are mine. I'm taking them. See ya. Right? She's getting what she wants. She's going for it. She's getting what she wants. But remember that swords energy is that it is communication. So I think about this card being when you are that little witch in the middle, that this means you need to ask, communicate what it is that you need, right? Communicate your needs at work, your family relationships, your friendships, or asking the universe for something, but something you need to ask and receive. That's Seven of Swords right there. Then we have Three of Cups. Oh my gosh, this week is a time to hang out with loving friends, fun people, celebrate successes. This is wonderful. Look at these cute little witches partying together. There's a little witch, there's a tall witch. I love it. Tall witch has a mask on. All kinds of cool things going on there. What?
I need to get this deck. I love
I
it.
know, it's so beautiful, right? Um, and then your last card is the Fool card, which goes back to that High Priestess. Fool energy is being totally open, no preconceived notions, but like open to it all. Like I think of Fool being absolute potential for anything. And you can direct it where you want to direct it. So if you feel like I'm closed off, this is not Fool energy. It's like, let's see what happens. Like the Fool is like, let's see what happens. Let's try it out. What have I got to lose? I've got a lot to gain and nothing to lose. Why not? That's Fool energy. Love that. That witch is standing on a barrel and reaching out. My gosh, it's such a fun card. She's got like a shoe that looks like a dog.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
I mean, there's so many details in these cards. I'm kind of loving this deck. Oh my gosh. So reach out, go for what it is that you want. And what have you got to lose? You fall off a barrel, big deal. You can land on your feet off a barrel, and that won't happen. New adventures and giving yourself a chance. 100%. 100%. Absolutely.
I love that you got that Three of Cups because I don't know if you think this, but I've always thought that this next to the pumpkin is grapes.
Yeah.
Maybe they're not,
Yeah.
but to me, yeah, that looks like grapes, right? Well, the charm I pulled is this little tiny set of grapes. So for this, I was thinking like you need to celebrate. Pour yourself a glass of wine. Take it easy and really like enjoy the fruits of your labor. So it's so hard to, or it's so easy rather, to just be all work, work, work and never really sit back and like acknowledge all that we're doing. Take the time to do that this week. You deserve it. Oh, Devon wants to know what the name of this deck is.
Oh, it's the Ask the Witch. It's by Red Wheel Wiser. Ask the Witch is the deck. And that is it. So we used to sell at the Parlor of Wonders, but I took the last one. So I have to get some more decks and books, and that's going to happen. But yeah, so you can get it most places. It's a cool deck that you can get. Yeah, I love it. It's a very rich deck, and I love a rich deck that has a lot of images. All right. Thank you so much, Devon. So we have Canaan Mother, Coraline, Adrija, Les, Angelicant, and Mel. Thank you so much, you guys. All right. Canaan Mother, what should I focus on next? That's a great question. What should I focus on? Let the cards tell me what I should focus on. It's like a lovely question and great for a one-card reading. All right. One card, one assignment. What should I focus on? Oh, this is fascinating. Okay, Five of Swords. Five of Swords. Okay, so Five of Swords shows, in this case, do they have what's she doing with those swords? Where's the other two? I can't see in the picture. Anyway, I need to get my reading glasses. There's so many little details in these cards. All right, so it shows kind of like the sort of aftermath of a battle. There's a witch. She's got all the swords, and there's two other people that don't have swords, or maybe have a sword or a sheath or something in the background, right? This card often means like imbalances of some kind, or inequality. But I also think of this card as, and sometimes it can mean like struggle, strife. But when I see this card, I look at this concept because it doesn't feel resolved. I look at this picture and I don't feel like the war has been won. Does anyone look at this picture and think the war has been won? It feels like they got to get back into battle the next day, right? It's just a temporary break in the battle, but then they have to go back into the battle. So if we think about that idea that the battle has not been won, or that we still have some imbalances or inequity or things like that, I think about strategy from the perspective of the general that's setting the soldiers off where they're supposed to go and what they're supposed to do. The general was maybe a little successful, but not completely successful, right? Their strategy didn't quite attain the goal, which is to win the war, right? So when this card comes up, I feel like there's this quality of possibility of repeating cycles, that where you're still just trying different things, but or trying the same thing and keep getting the same result. Like if you keep going and sending your troops up the hill, they're going to keep getting killed and you're not going to gain any ground. Then why would you send them up the hill the next day? No, you would put them on a new strategy. So your focus is to strategize right now. And your focus is to strategize and look at things, because remembering swords means thoughts, ideas, beliefs, communication, is to think about a new way of approaching things, a new approach. How can I do it a different way? If I am not liking the result that I'm getting from something, don't continue to do it. Try something new. Try a new way of looking at it. Try a new approach. Take new action. But the thing that you're doing right now is strategizing, right? So if you keep knocking your head on the same door and you're banging that door and not door isn't yielding, go to a different door, right? If you are on a hamster wheel and you keep putting all this energy but you're not seeing a result, get off the hamster wheel. That's what I think of when I see Five of Swords. So that's why I'm like, this is fascinating, because it's about a real deep card about looking at what works and what doesn't work. And if we want to have a decisive victory, we need to do something different than what we have been doing. And that victory doesn't mean necessarily in competition with someone or fighting with someone. It can be our own victory of like, I want to achieve a certain goal, or I want to do this. So this is strategizing time. And I love that. So excellent.
I got a sword too. Isn't that crazy? And to me, this is really like exactly what you were saying. You really have to hone in on what you're doing. If you are at war, or if you're going to battle, you need to make sure that your sword is sharp. I think too about like with cooking, if you are cutting with a dull knife, you're way more likely to hurt yourself than if you're using a sharp one. So really be honing in on what you're doing right now and be perfecting your craft, whatever that is, and keep trying new approaches. You're going to get it. You're going to get there. And
Yeah.
look at each failure as like a step closer to getting there, because you've been trying out all these different things. So just keep at it.
I almost want to say too, it's like it doesn't have to even be about failure
Yeah.
necessarily, right? It can also be about a place that you haven't explored yet, something
Mm-hmm.
you haven't tried before, right? So it could be about like, I think about in my spiritual practice, my witchcraft practice, I'm always adding new skills, learning new things. It's like endless what you could possibly do. So I think about like, oh, there's a new avenue that I haven't been down and I'd really like to explore that and learn more about that, then I just go and do it. So it could be as simple as that too. It doesn't have to be about like success and failure. It can just
Mhm.
be about a new approach, right? A new approach. So I love that. Thank you so much, Canyon Mother. All right. Next is Corlin. Corlin has a 3-card reading. So Corlin says, I'd like a 3-card pull regarding the career change I'm currently going through. Thank you and much love. You are so welcome. So happy to do this for you. Career change. That's a big step. Love it. I love it. But a good step. Okay. I'm wondering if you know the career you're moving into, or you're just saying, I want to get out of the old career. The reason I say that is because the first card that shows up is the 4 of Cups.
Mm.
And 4 of Cups is a card about focusing on the mediocre stuff and having an opportunity to find something really, really good in a very different direction. So I'm wondering if your focus right now is like, I hate my job, I hate my career, I just got to get out and get into anything. And that may not be quite the right thing, because we have not just the cups of discontent or mediocrity or whatever we want to call it, but we also have this amazing cup over here, amazing opportunity. And it's kind of coming from left field. That witch is not seeing it. She's looking at the cups in front of her. And if she keeps looking at the discontent, she may miss the opportunity that's really the juicy opportunity. So a slight shift in looking at maybe thinking about like kind of, I would say, if you think about this cup that's on the side, it's in the peripheral vision, right? It's off to the side where you might not see it. Oh, now I see my hand. Like I don't see my hand here, but if I move it up a little bit, but you can move your head and then you can see your hand perfectly, right? So that peripheral vision needs to widen a little bit, meaning the new career, I would be very wide open about what that new career could be or what that new career could look like or where you're going to be working. If you already know the step you're going to take and change the career and move into the other thing, I would widen the range of what it could be a little bit. That's what I'm getting. And then you'll find like a really juicy opportunity there. So just make sure you're not too tunnel vision and focused, and in particular not focused on, I just want to get out. Yes, you want to get out, yes, you want to make the career change, but I would open it up to like see like, oh, what are all the possibilities for me, because I want to like see everything. Secondly, what's really going to help with the career change is networking. 2 of Cups is a card about networking. It's connecting. And when we look at it, it's like a love relationship or a deep connection. But when we look at it in career, we're looking at the friendships and the connections that you have, the personal connections that you have. Do you know somebody in the new career, or do you know somebody in that realm that you could find out more information about that or learn about that? And it doesn't even have to be necessarily somebody you know in real life. It could be reading a book about it. That is a way for an individual to transfer information to another individual. So if you're thinking about this career change and this other thing you want to enter into, the network is going to be powerful for you. That's it. And if you don't, let's say I'm going to make up a fantasy scenario. I decided I'm quitting my corporate job and I'm going to be an artist. I'm going to be a painter. All right. Do you know painters? If you don't, go out and meet painters. How do you meet painters? Go to gallery openings, like do the networking that you need to do. So if there's something that you want to get into and you know people in that industry, great. If you don't know people in that industry, get to know people in that industry, because your network is going to be powerful, really powerful. This is how you get mentored. This is how you get opportunities. This is how everything happens, is really through this network, and in particular for you. Lastly, I love this Page of Cups. So in your new career, in your new job, and this career change, you're going to have to go into it at the expectation that you're going to start in the entry level. That's a page all the way. There's such a beautiful aspect of both this, that you have all these cups. If your new career has something to do with healing, spiritual work, psychic work, therapy, emotional work, or any of those things, it's super supported. It's super supported by this. If it's something, let's say you want to get into accounting or doing something like that, you're going to bring heart to the accounting, right? You're going to bring heart and compassion and care and emotion to that. So no matter what career you're going into, if it's one that is like healing professions, therapy, arts, I mean, this could be arts as well. Psychic work, all of these things that we've been talking about, great. But even if it's not, even if it's the most grounded, practical work, you're still going to bring heart to it. Page reminds you that you have to get your foot in the door. Once you're in, you'll, rocket pretty quickly up to higher levels. It's not because you have tons of experience behind you. But if you have the expectation, I think you want to temper that. If you have the expectation, I made it to this level and now I'm going to go in a new career at that same level. I want you to temper that because you got to get your foot in the door and then get back up to that level of success that you've had before. So there you go. All right. Love Witch, what do you got for
These
Coraline?
scissors. So I wonder if you're going to be a hairdresser or a seamstress. But this really gives me two messages. First is like, whatever it is that you're about to do, you're cut out for it. So go into it with that knowledge. The second thing is really examine what you're doing right now and cut out any of the parts of it that you don't like, right? So take a look at what your responsibilities at your job are and which ones are making you want to leave this profession. Make sure that you're doing a lot of research and being very careful to not get yourself in another job with those exact same problems, right? This means doing your research, asking around, being really, really careful with the decision that you make. But you're going to kill it. So just hang in there and get ready to be successful.
Oh my gosh. I also think of that scissors being like, I'm cutting ties with that old job. I'll never have to go back to that old
Yeah.
job again, which can be a great relief,
Yeah, I think about that so much just in my daily life. Like when I'm having a hard day or when something's not going my way, I'm like, well, at least I never have to go back to those old jobs I had,
Oh,
right? Like at least
I thought you were thinking like, how can I get out of this job working at the
no,
Parlor of Wonders?
no way. Complete opposite.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Coraline. Oh, that's a wonderful question. Thank you so much for your donation. For those of you who are just joining us, we're doing Tarot for Kindness. We are doing tarot readings for $10 per card. You can make a donation on Venmo, PayPal, or Super Chat down below here on YouTube. 100% of the proceeds don't go to us. They go directly to Sobotan Harbor, who buy groceries for seniors in Ukraine. So you're helping seniors who are homebound, disabled during a horrific war where there's bombs and bomb raids all the time. Electricity is turned off. I mean, so much hardship in Ukraine right now, and you're making a huge difference. So thank you. Adrija, oh my gosh, Adrija, I'm so happy to hear from you.
Our long lost friend.
I know, a long lost Adrija. You used to be a regular, and now we never see you anymore. We're so happy to see you.
Now we know why. Look, she's seeing somebody.
Oh my gosh, exactly.
Right?
Well, you need to listen, Adrija, I know all about your other career, your like secondary creative career. You could be asking questions about that. Come on. Come on. You don't have to,
Hopefully
just
she's
because
been
you have
really
a
busy
relationship going
today.
well doesn't mean you have to abandon us. We can ask things about things other than relationship. So let's take a look. All right. Okay. Unless that's all going well, then maybe you don't need a reading. Maybe you just do a check-in, see what's going on. Thank you for your donation. See, we think about you guys when you're not here. We miss you when you're not here. Wonder what's happened to that person, right? Okay. So here's what I see. I'm going to tell you everything. I think that this relationship has some amazing parts of it. I think that the marriage is going to take a little time, maybe longer than you're hoping for, but not too long. I'm not seeing like, 10 years or something like that, but it might be a little bit slower, but you'll get there. Okay. So, first of all, King of Cups energy, like, is so loving, so beautiful. I love it that the King of Cups, I can't tell, non-binary person. We don't know what's going on with King of Cups. Anyway, King of Cups is beautiful. So I love the King of Cups energy when we talk about relationship, because this is talking about somebody in your life who is emotionally astute. They know, they aren't fickle, their emotions are consistent. When we see King energy, we see somebody who is committed, who is open to commitment, is ready for that, has the maturity for the commitment, all of these things that we want to see. And King of Cups is someone who's so loving. So I see this beautiful relationship that is so loving, so beautiful. Really somebody who is very consistent and does love you sincerely. So that is a very beautiful card to see. Next card is the Six of Cups, which is a card of also very emotionally giving, emotionally available. The hearts are open. There's a loving gesture. The little boy is giving the little girl a silver goblet with a bunch of blue flowers in it. It is loving and sweet and kind. So those two things, and when you talk about relationship, you have somebody who cares about you, loves you, is connected to you. This is what you want to see in relationship, as somebody who's not closed off or just in it for themselves. This is a loving, generous give and take in this relationship. I see that for you, you have some anxiety and worry, which is showing up in the Nine of Swords. This may be the anxiety and worry about the pressure of, like, I have to get married, or this expectation that my family has or society has for me. And I think that is creating the stress that it really isn't necessary. Again, anxiety, it's like, it's great when someone says, as a person that has anxiety, when someone says, "Don't worry about it," I'm like, I can't turn that switch off. I'm just
Wouldn't
gonna
that be
worry,
nice?
right? I know. But I will say that this relationship, our outcome card is the Knight of Pentacles, which is going forward. You know what's super interesting about this card? We have this beautiful witch on a peacock, right? Knight of Pentacles on a peacock. I think of the peacock energy as very spiritual, right? Very spiritual for a Pentacles energy. So, yes, you're going to get there, but a peacock doesn't move fast, right? A peacock isn't a super speedy cheetah, right? It's going to move in its beautiful way, but there's beauty with it, right? There's this absolute beauty of the peacock. Such a beautiful, magical, mystical, spiritual animal, spiritual bird. Oh my gosh. And so beautiful. I wrote a whole section in my new book about peacocks and how beautiful they are, how magical they are. They're just amazing. And their feathers are amazing. Oh, I'm just so into them, obsessed with them. So I think that this worry is, when I see everything around this, is unnecessary worry. At least, I mean, you're going to be anxious. When you have anxiety, right? But if you can get into your rational mind and go, my anxiety is just that. It's anxiety. Everything around me is showing me that this person loves me, that we're on our path to getting married. This is a beautiful relationship. There is this. So then you just need to, like, compartmentalize that anxiety and just go, that's my anxiety talking, right? That's what I'm seeing here. And if you can sort of, get that, it helps. I'm going to say, as a person who has anxiety, it helps me to do that, to just go, that's my anxiety talking. That's not the reality of what I'm seeing in front of me. That's not the reality of what I'm experiencing. So I need to just recognize and sort of keep it in a little box over there. It's going to be there, but at least I know that it's coming from that place of just the anxiety and not from a reality that I'm seeing. Because everything around this looks loving, beautiful, that you're going to get to that marriage. It may be that you're just having an anxiety of, like, it has to happen right now so that I can settle down and just set it aside and go, it's going to happen. It's beautiful. So loving. I've got to be patient. Patience is not easy. Yes. Okay. What do you have?
Check this update out first.
Oh, thanks so much. My books actually got accepted by publisher.
Congratulations.
Again, they will start with everything after 6 months. So that is pretty slow. That is so awesome. You know, Adrija has been doing readings with me for a long time, and you were looking for an agent, and we directed that through the cards. We found out how to get her an agent. She got an amazing agent. Now her book has gotten picked up. That is so phenomenal. That news is so, so good. What a beautiful journey you're about to go on. I'm so proud of you. Writing fiction is something I think it's like amazing. All you fiction writers out there, Buchanan's a fiction writer. I think you guys are so genius and brilliant. I just really, I mean, as a nonfiction writer, I just admire all the fiction writers because I know how much work goes into a nonfiction book. And then to create worlds, oh my gosh, you guys are amazing. So big congratulations, Adrija. That's amazing news. I'm so glad to see that. Oh, wonderful.
It's awesome. Thinking about that peacock when you were talking about how they move slowly, I was thinking about it's like, yeah, of course they move slowly because they want everybody to take in the beauty, right? Nobody has to miss out on that gorgeous display because they're moving at a pace that everybody can watch. You don't want to miss out on this gorgeous part of your relationship that is dating, and you don't want to miss out on the engagement and then on the wedding and then on the being married part. So enjoy the phase that you're in. Don't stay too fixated on the future. My mom used to always tell me that her and my dad dated forever. And she was like constantly asking him, when are you going to ask me to marry you? When are you going to ask me to marry you? And he's like, I'm going to ask when you stop asking me to ask you. And then she like didn't ask for 6 months and they got married. The charm I pulled is this hand. So I think he's definitely going to ask for your hand in marriage. There's huge marriage potential for this relationship. So just enjoy the phase that you're in and don't rush things. I mean, think about like a plant. The quickest way to mess up your harvest is to pull it out too soon. So just let things bake and simmer for a little bit longer.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't take the cake out of the oven too soon. And you know, everything looks good in this relationship. So loving, so kind, so beautiful, and just, you know, I think in a relationship we have that wonderful courtship time that's so exciting, but also can be incredibly nerve-wracking. But when you get to be in a relationship after a few years, it's going to be settled, but it's not going to be very exciting anymore. So, you know, it's like I remember when Manfred and I were first dating, I was just thinking about him all the time and I couldn't wait. And now I'm like, okay, that's a little different now. I'm not obsessing. It's good. I'm not obsessing, but I'm also like, you know, we got to create excitement. We're going to go out on a date. Okay, let's make it happen so we have fun together. Not that we don't have fun. It's just that, you know, you get used to the other person. So you want that excitement. That's always in a new relationship, but you'll have the stability, but it won't be quite so exciting later. You know, that's it. That's your trade-off. So
And I think that's a good thing too. Like I think of some people I know that have very exciting marriages, and it's not for good reasons. It's all just
so
drama and
proper
conflict.
exciting.
So excitement is meant for this phase.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I like it being very stable, very reliable, and just like I know he's my plus one. I can invite him to things, and sometimes he says no, and that's fine too. But most of the time, he goes along with everything, and we have fun together. We have a great time together. But I don't like wait for him to call. Oh my gosh, he texted me or he called me. That kind of crazy beginning when your brain is on all the crazy hormones and everything that it produces. All right, we have Les and then Angelica and then Mel. Thank you so much, you guys. Oh my gosh. Les says, I made a $10 donation on PayPal. My question is, what is in store for me in the love area from now until the end of 2024? Oh my gosh, we only have 2.5 months left, right? Kind of crazy. I know everybody says it, but this year, oh my gosh, every year seems to go by faster and faster the older you get. I'm telling you. All right, let's take a look. All right. Okay. Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords in the love area is an interesting card to show up. There's two aspects of it. We saw this earlier, right? Seven of Swords is ask for what it is that you need. I think this is a great message for asking the universe for what it is that you need. You can create that list of 21 qualities of your perfect partner, perfect relationship, but stick it under your mattress. You can put it underneath a love candle. Definitely do that underneath a candle on a tray. Once it's done, then put it underneath your mattress so that you activate that love coming into your life. It's a beautiful like way to work. But Seven of Swords also is a cautionary card. Like, be careful that you don't have somebody who is trying to, take something from you or pull one over on you. So I think that through the end of the year, you want to vet people pretty closely. Like, make sure, like, take your time. Don't rush into anything. Don't get too deep. I've had in the past clients who've had situations where they're jumping from relationship to relationship, and then these relationships are people who are takers, right? Watch out for takers. You want to see somebody who's giving as well as taking, receiving and giving. I shouldn't say it's taking, giving and receiving. And I think that's what you want to watch out for. You might have had experiences with dealing with people who are takers, and you're a giver, and you're giving and giving and giving. And then after a while, the well runs dry. There's nothing more to give. So I would say there's going to be a shift in that energy, or there can be a shift in that energy if you just sort of vet people a little more, take a little more time, take it slow. Sometimes that can reveal something before you get too deep. You can start to see somebody's character rather than jumping in with both feet. Take a little moment, to get to know them, to get to see, are they a person who is a giver and a receiver, or are they just somebody who is out to get theirs? For you, this also can mean asking the universe for what it is that you are wanting, being clear about that. When you ask the universe, and I think that list of 21 is so incredibly powerful because it's like a contract. When you have, oh, this is great. We're going to go back to the music world again. When you go to when your band gets to a certain level, you get something called a rider. Do you know what a rider is?
Mm-hmm.
You know what a writer is, right? So a writer is specific things that you want, right, in your contract, right? So a writer for, say, performing at a club, you could say, we would like water, we would like towels, we would like this kind of beer, we'd like this kind of wine, or whatever you're asking for
No
in
blue
your
M&Ms.
dressing. Only no green M&Ms, only green M&Ms, right? So the joke is that a lot of places would put these weird things in the writer to test and see if they were actually reading the writer. Um, but it's like at a certain level, you get after you've gotten to a certain level, you get to ask for what it is that you want. Less what you are wanting, you've reached that level. You have reached that level in relationship and in dating. Now you can start to ask the universe for what it is that you want, because you've had experience to know what you don't want, to know what you do want, and now you can ask for what you do want. All right. So I would suggest that you do that as well. Really powerful thing to do. The universe will deliver on your writer. I'm telling you, every time. Might take a minute, but the universe will deliver. The universe is non-binary.
That makes sense.
I just realized.
That makes a lot of sense, actually.
Yeah, it does. It totally makes sense to me.
I got this anchor charm. So I think this speaks a lot to what you were just saying, right? Like, don't move too fast. It's okay to move really slowly, or to take your time with something and to explore it. And also, I think this is speaking to a quality about the person that you want to find, and that's somebody that grounds and anchors you. It's not just like take, but is giving back just as much as they take, and is like happy to do so, and isn't going to make you feel bad about it. So yeah, look for somebody with that nice calming, anchoring energy, because who doesn't want to be around that all the time, right? And if we're going to partner up with somebody, we're going to spend a lot of our time with them. So make sure you're picking somebody that's going to bring you to a good place.
People that want lots of relationships and want lots of flings wouldn't want that.
Exactly. Yeah.
You're
So
saying who wouldn't
don't talk
want
to them. Oh well,
that?
I think they would still enjoy that, right? That sometimes maybe they don't want to be committed to that, but they would still like feeling calm or feeling grounded, right? They
That's
still
true.
want to stick with it.
But I
and
also
just
think
don't look for those people.
I was going to say, if you wanted a lot of relationships and a lot of fun, you could have like somebody in every port, right? That's you can have
Yeah.
that consistent like
Yeah. Throw
rotation.
your anchor
That's
all
not a
over the
bad thing
place.
either. Okay. So Angelicant, angelic verse. Thank you so much. Two cards, one question for a love check-in with a cutie I just met. They are
Ooh.
my friend's roommate. And one general vibe. Okay, so thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. Um, they are my friends. Okay, so one question is love check-in, and the second card is for general vibe. Okay.
There's part 2 here.
Oh, also wanted to add, as per the tarot reading you both did for me a couple weeks ago, everything did work out beautifully, as Three of Cups vibe said, regarding the healing program and the cost. Excellent.
Yay.
I love
I'm so
it. Oh, we love to hear those after success stories. One of the things about being a reader is you get some clients that come back to you, and that's like you get the next installation of the story.
Mhm.
What's happening now? And then you have some clients, you do one reading and then you never hear from them again. They got their reading, they lived their life, everything's going great. So they don't see you because everything's going great. So we never know that everything's going great.
I'm
So
always
come
telling my
back and tell us.
clients, I'm
What?
invested in your story now. So even if you don't book another reading with me, email me an update. I love knowing I'm right. So tell me I'm right if I am.
It's true. Every reader loves to hear about, you were on it, you were right. It's a great feeling, It's like a little pat on the back. It's the best tip you can give, I think. Really good. All right. So let's see. Oh, I like it. You got such good, young, fresh energy. It's so good, right? So the first one, you asked the question, is there potential with this relationship? You got Page of Pentacles. I love that energy. Page of Pentacles is like the old soul in a young body. I think of so this person that you got your eye on has definitely potential. It's going to like take a minute for it to like simmer. When I think of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles energy, they're not rushing into anything. But the great thing about Page of Pentacles is that that slow burn can actually lead to something very stable, very solid, very long lasting. So if what you're looking for is a long lasting relationship, this really would indicate that. But I like the openness. It's like plans ahead, thinks somebody that thinks about, like the future, planning ahead, plans for the future, and definitely definitely a reliable person that will be around. So there's something there. But I would even like say the way to approach it is just like to be that slow burn, like to feel that like connection, but not push for some fast thing. Like I would say this is a relationship that you kind of circle around each other for a few weeks or even several weeks, where you're circling around each other before you actually take the next step. That's what I feel like with that energy there. But it's very open, very sweet. I mean, that's very like there's lots of great potential there. Now, general vibe is Page of Swords, which is about jumping into things without thinking about it. So I'm like, okay, so what this is telling me is your vibe is in general is to like leap before you look, right? That's great. I love the aspect of that. I mean, I'm a leaper before I look a lot of times, and usually land like a cat on my feet. Everything's great. And I don't sit and think about things too much. Like I just get in and I figure it out as I go along. I lived my life that way for my whole life has been that. Just jump in, you'll figure it out, right? I think that energy is very good. But when I compare this, and I know we're not this card is its own thing. But yet when I compare it to that relationship, it's like, oh, you've got to change this kind of strategy. Yes, you're leaping in the way that you're thinking, like, oh, hey, my heart is leaping in, but I wouldn't necessarily push for some or write off something if it doesn't manifest in that first or second meeting, but that you have like, oh, my friend's roommate, oh, we're hanging out, oh, all three of us are hanging out, oh, now we're going to hang out as friends, maybe. Like be enjoying that kind of twisty turny aspect to all this that is the slow getting to know you period. In general, as I look at this for you, general vibe of Page of Swords, it's like, yeah, take those leaps of faith and jump in to other aspects of your life, whether it's like your career, new friendships, going to a new place. I mean, the Page of Swords energy is just like the most exuberant, most youthful energy of like, I'll figure it out as I go. I'll jump in and I'll figure it out. I'm smart, I'm resourceful, I know how to figure things out. I'll be fine, right? Really, that's kind of how we have to live life. Otherwise, then you're standing on the sidelines the whole time. So I think there's this aspect of this interesting push pull here. But I think that for you in general, it's like go for it. Whatever it is you're thinking of, apart from pushing on that relationship, I'd say, jump into things, try things out. If you like it, great. If you don't, whatever, right? Love that. All right, what do you have?
I have this lovely horseshoe. So yeah, I think jump into things because your luck is good right now. And that knowledge can be really powerful. I think if we're telling ourselves we're having bad luck or things aren't going good, that story is going to continue. But if you know that your luck has turned around and things are really working out in your favor lately, they're going to continue to do so. And if for some reason they don't, it's not going to discourage you because you're going to see it as just a little bump in the road and there's more good luck ahead. So there's lots of good luck around for you right now, Angelic Hunt. So be taking it up and, really acknowledge it too. Like when something happens that's in your favor, thank your guides, thank the spirit of good luck, and pat yourself on the back.
Love it. Love it. Oh my gosh, love that so much. You guys are amazing. All right. Mel is our last reading. If you would like to get a reading in, now's your opportunity. Get it in now while we're doing the reading for Mel. Otherwise, I'm going to go and get some dinner after Mel's reading. I'm tired. I want to take a bath. I want to eat something and lie in bed and watch, I don't know, Ab Fab or something. What am I going to watch tonight? I don't know. Back to watching Ab Fab again. Got to find a new show. All right. So Mel, it's great to hear from you, Mel. Thank you so much, Mel. Your generous donation. Oh, so grateful for these, readings that we do for you. You always give a big bump. We're grateful for every donation, $10 donations, $100 donation, everything in between. We're grateful for them all. So Mel wants to know, any private events on Monday is cleaner okay from storm and will call me. You're in the path of the storm, huh? Mel, oh my goodness. My goodness. I'm glad to see you're here. I'm glad all is well. I'm sure there's a big cleanup that you're dealing with. All right. So we're going to do the first 5 as these 5, and then there's additional 5.
The 6th one is just how's the rest of the week looking.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. So let's look at these 5. We'll do all the cards, and then the 5 additional second 5 will be about the week ahead.
I have to give the cat some treats, but
okay. Okay. All right. So let's take a look. Somebody's on treat duty. Well, it turns out to be a nice week for you. I'm looking at that second 5. There's some super wonderful things in there. All right, let's look at the first question. Any private event Monday? Oh boy, is there ever. 9 of Cups looks like somebody's having a dinner party. This is always like a banquet energy. So it looks like somebody's going to have a dinner party or some kind of event where there's other people there. I don't think of this as being a loud, raucous event with 9 of Cups. I think of this as being low key, but it will be some kind of event or some kind of gathering. It doesn't have to be necessarily a dinner party. It could be somebody having a meeting of some kind, but it seems that energy of 9 of Cups seems pretty low key. It doesn't seem like wild and loud or crazy partiers or anything like that. It's more, yes, there's going to be people there, but it's going to be a low key event on Monday, just something where people are getting together. Small gathering, nothing crazy. Is cleaner okay from storm and will call me? The 7 of Cups shows up, which is that cleaner is dealing with a lot on their plate. This is a feeling of like they may be dealing with family, friends, other people, other clients
Mhm.
with big problems and big cleanups. So I just feel like they're a little overwhelmed right now. This can be a card of like having overwhelming decisions. This can, 7 of Cups can be, I don't know which one to pick or do that. So the cleaner is okay from the storm, but they're overwhelmed with all of the things that they're having to do. It may be that they have to clean up at their home, or they have clients with some real horrible stuff that has happened and that they need to deal with that. So I would just be a little patient and, patience and persistence. Maybe reach out every other day and see, hi, I'm just checking to see that you're okay. Are you okay? How is everything? They just may be just so overwhelmed with everything right now. They're just not answering the calls and not answering messages and things. Um, will Bobby call me? Interesting. 4 of Pentacles. Bobby's this is a card of like number 4 and Pentacles energy. Pentacles energy is earth, and in numerology, number 4 is structure. So this is like overly structured or overly protective. Too much, right? Like this witch here is hanging on to their pentacles super tight and not really like, what's the threat, what are you worried about, right? Like, so I would say that with Bobby there may be an issue of like being overly protective or overly guarded, and you may feel like a sense of that, like being stonewalled almost, or like somebody not calling you for some reason. There may be some reason in Bobby's head why he's not calling you, but you just sort of want to create a sense of peace and tranquility so that he will call you, right? But I think there's this kind of overly protective energy that he has. This heart card can also mean too being overly like grasping for something in a sense of like controlling. So is it that you're hanging on so tightly with Bobby that he's feeling a little, squished by that? You may need to like loosen your grip a little bit or just loosen things up a little bit. Either way, it will help him to reach out to you in some way. So, last thing I'll say about this card is sometimes it can be jealousy.
Mm.
Like I need to have control over somebody. I'm feeling a sense of jealousy. So you don't want to dip into jealousy for yourself. There's nothing to be jealous about. That's what this card says. There's nothing to worry about. But if you're thinking things in your head that are creating jealousy, can make you grip tighter, which can make someone feel like overwhelmed. So make sure that that is not the case. You Scorpios, you have a reputation. Do you get jealous? This is our resident Scorpio over here.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Um, all right. Next
Very
is the
selectively,
question.
though, I will say. Like, I'm either super jealous or just don't care at all, but it depends on like the person and situation, I think.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm either the most jealous person you've ever met or not jealous.
That's so funny. Um, did this person have a picture of me or someone else? Interesting. 10 of Pentacles shows up, and 10 of Pentacles is a card of family. That tells me it's somebody that looks like they could be your sister, right? It's somebody that looks like you. So there's a resemblance. It's interesting. The picture that they have has a resemblance to you, but I don't get that it's you. It's a resemblance. This person have a picture of me or someone else. So there's something that it either is like, a picture that kind of looks like you and they think it's you maybe, or that there's some kind of resemblance in you and the person in the picture. But that's what I'm picking up from this. Um, no mail for 3 days will get all of it. Yes, Empress card shows up. Empress energy is to receive all. She's ultimately receptive. So you'll get all of your mail, obviously, because of the storm and all the chaos and who knows. The mail wasn't harmed. I don't get that the mail was harmed, but now the whole thing of getting back to normal again is what we're waiting on. And then you'll get your big chunk of mail. So I don't see that the mail was lost or anything like that. Now,
You're not
as
going
for
to get
the
it tomorrow, though. There's no mail tomorrow.
yeah,
Because they're
no
not
mail tomorrow.
ready.
Yeah, we're a holiday tomorrow, a mail holiday. So Indigenous Peoples Day or Columbus Day, however you are viewing it, but there's no mail tomorrow. All right. So next for the week ahead, Wheel of Fortune, shift and change. 10 of that's a 10. Oh my gosh, it's been a long day. The Wheel of Fortune is the 10 in the major arcana. But I just said in class, we never say that. We never talk about it. All of a sudden, I'm talking about it. The Wheel of Fortune is a card of shift and change. It's asking you to take risks. So this week is going to be like you have to put yourself out there, not doing stupid things, obviously. Don't be risky. Being risky is taking, unintelligent choices, making bad choices. That's not what this is about. This is about extending yourself in some way that is leading you to the good result, but you still feel some kind of about making that extension or doing that thing. So Wheel of Fortune is saying take a good risk. Beautiful, the fates spinning the wheel. It's amazing. I love these images. So Wheel of Fortune, take some risks of some kind, make some change. It's good change. It can be positive change, but it requires you to like extend yourself in some way. High Priestess, access all the beautiful wisdom that is within you this week. You have great wisdom. I think of, High Priestess reminds us of all that we have within us that is like our skill, our wisdom, our experience. That's going to come to the forefront this week. Love seeing that for you, just like you sitting in that power. High Priestess doesn't show off. She's not that. She just is, and she's totally content as she is. Queen of Swords. Oh, Queen of Swords is a communicator. You need to communicate what it is that you are wanting with people. Like, I think the communication is going to be key. Your expectations, your boundaries. Oh, this is a big boundary card. So clarify your boundaries and set those boundaries and then communicate those boundaries to others. I think that's the part that people forget.
Mhm.
We set a boundary. Maybe we set a boundary. I want to, my expectation is this, right? But if we don't tell the other person what our expectation is, how can we see if they're fulfilling it? I'll say a good example of that. We might, relating back to your question about Bobby. Bobby may have the belief for whatever reason that he doesn't need to contact you, that your whatever your relationship is, that it's like, I'm fine. He's fine with what it is right now. But if it's not fine with you, there does have to be a communication about that expectation. Maybe not now, but when you do talk, right? When you do talk, maybe say, when I'm in relationship or when I'm in a friendship or whatever the relationship is, I like to hear from someone every day or every other day, right? So that I know you're okay. Even if it's just a hello is fine, or whatever your expectation is. That's the Queen of Swords energy, is like communicating your expectation and your boundaries. Now, it is not saying that a person has to do those things, right? You're not controlling the situation. You're just expressing what it is that you need. But for an example, let's make it a for instance, and I'm going to do it with a friendship. You have a friend and you tell your friend a secret, but your friend doesn't know it's a secret and they go and tell other people. They can't be blamed for that. They didn't know it was a secret. But if you say in your telling, this is private information between you and me, I don't want you sharing this with anyone, they still have the ability to tell everyone, but you have set a boundary. And if they go and tell everyone what you have said, you can come back to them and say, look, when I told you that, I told you not to say anybody. And now it's all spread all over town. So now I can do what I need to do, which is redefine that relationship, cut off that relationship, or decide that you're never going to tell that friend another secret again. Whatever it is that you decide to do, because you have set the terms of the boundary. And so with Queen of Swords energy, I think this is a great week for you to be really clear with your expectations of what of your interactions. The ninth card is the Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords is a card about limitations that we create for ourselves. So here we have this gorgeous witch. She's got this, it looks like a belt around her, and she's got a blindfold on, right? If she would take off that blindfold or wiggle out of this thing, she would see that she is standing in a little puddle. She's not in danger. And the swords aren't even an offense around her, yet she feels trapped. The trap is not a trap. So if you feel that you are limited, that you can't do something, that you can't have access to something, that is your own creation. That is your own mind telling you. I think of great examples of this can be things like a limitation that we put on ourselves. All the good ones are taken. That is a limitation that you have created for yourself right there. When you say all the good ones are taken, whether that means relationships, jobs, or anything, all of them are taken, you have just made a fence around yourself. And when people say that to me, all the good ones are taken, I come back to them. I said, have you met every person in this world? Because if you have all 9 billion people, then I will take what you say to heart because you've met all 9 million people. Of course, you know all the good ones are taken. But if you haven't met all of 9 billion people in this world, how can you say all the good ones are taken? Because you don't know. So check yourself and your own limitations that you are creating for yourself. Limitations that we create for ourselves. I'm too old. I'm not talented enough. I'm not this enough. I'm not that enough. I'm too much this. I'm too much that. This situation will never change, right? All of these things that we can create and say, and then they create a limitation. So it's about your mental awareness of your own creation of limitation. Look what we have as our last card, the 10 of
Oh my
Cups.
gosh.
So cute. Oh my gosh, those two witches are being so cuddly and cute. They're saying, look at my farm, and the kids are dancing. They're having a great time. So this week is going to be a great week. I think a beautiful week. It's a beautiful week for connecting to others, for happiness, for a happy home, for happy friendships, happy relationship. So tap into that as well. Enjoy them and appreciate them. It's such a good thing. Friends, family, loved ones, happy house, all of that. What'd you get from Mel?
I got this infinity charm. Sorry,
Oh,
I have
I
one
love
arm
that.
now because the cat's asleep on me. So practice when I hold it like that. This to me, whenever I think of an infinity symbol, I think of past lives. Whenever I think of past lives, I think of the fact that we have overcome death itself to be here in this moment. We were dying to live this life. So enjoy it and live every moment of it. And remember that like you can overcome anything. You've already overcome the hardest thing possible, which is dying. So really tap into the strength of your past lives this week. And whenever something frustrates you or is going against the stream, just remind yourself, I didn't come into this life to suffer. I didn't come into this life to worry. I am here to enjoy myself, and I'm going to do just that. I'm going to let this flow right past me. Other people can choose to swim upstream. They can be salmon if they want, but you're going downstream. So keep going downstream, keep enjoying the ride, and just let things flow right past you.
Yeah, I love that. I always say, I like amusement parks. So if you don't like amusement parks, this won't work for you. But I always say it's like we come to the amusement park, that's our life, and it's like, shouldn't you go on the rides? Shouldn't you have the cotton candy? Shouldn't you go do those things? Like, do those things, enjoy it, enjoy your trip to the amusement park. The amusement park trip will end, but that's not the end of life. The next day you wake up and you get to go back to the amusement park again. And there are new rides and new things to explore, new food, a different amusement park, right? Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Mel. We so appreciate you. We had a terrific showing today. Oh, thank you, Mel. We raised $300 today. That's awesome. This is really good. So just a reminder that next week I won't be here because I'll be doing the Witches Ball at the Crest in Long Beach. If you're in Southern California and want to get a reading in real life from me, just come to the Crest in Long Beach. The Witches Ball is thrown by Madame Ozma. It's a gay bar with drag shows. We're going to probably have some drag shows and some other fun things and a raffle and all kinds of fun stuff. So come and join us there. I think we're doing it like 5 to 9 or something like that. So it's a little earlier than we normally go. But that's good because I have to work the next day. So come and join us on Sunday the 20th at the Crest in Long Beach, California. And I'll be doing readings there. You can have some fun with me. Do you have any things coming up that you want to announce before we go, Love Witch? Is there anything?
I don't think so. No.
All right, and just a couple of Parlor of Wonders announcements. The Loving Ghosts are going to be, that's our new moon spell for Scorpio. Come on, Scorpios. This is amazing. By the way, an amazing, amazing spell for connecting to your, it's not loving spirit, sorry, not loving ghosts, for connecting to your loved ones that have gone into the afterlife, animals, friends, family, pets, whatever, that have gone to the afterlife. You can connect with them. You can connect, ask your spirits to support you in your relationships on this plane if you want to with this spell. So either way you want to work with it, connecting to the spirits or asking for the spirits' help in connecting to real life people, this spell can do it. This spell, the new moon, is going to be on November 1st, which is the middle of that beautiful, magical time. All Saints Day, All Souls Day, Samhain, Halloween, all of these things happen on that day. So this is a time to access that energy and the new moon. It doesn't happen like this very often. In fact, it may not happen again for another, who knows, 10 years, 20 years, who knows. So take advantage of this by getting this beautiful new moon spell. Our next new moon, which is the December Sagittarius new moon, will be showing up on the 18th. That will be starting on the 18th. And that is our Miraculous Wishes with the yellow unicorn candle. So you can get that. Also, don't forget that our Halloween box, we have a deluxe Halloween box, limited edition Halloween magic kit, Halloween bewitching magic. Wasn't it? That what it, bewitching magic kit? I don't remember.
Yes, bewitching just wouldn't fit on this slide below us. So.
Oh, okay. So the deluxe kits are almost sold out. Those include all of our little extras, like a pendulum board and a beautiful pendulum and a deck from Athena Noctua, beautiful deck, which is the crystal ball deck, and a velvet bag that's absolutely gorgeous. I mean, the stuff is really good stuff that you get with it. Plus you get all 3 little kitten witches that are so cute. These are only going to be on sale until October 31st. You can use the ingredients anytime, but you need to get those before they go away on October 31st. So if you want it in time for Halloween, now's the time to order it for sure so that we can get that to you. And there's a class on Wednesday. That's the last thing I wanted to tell you, that there is a full moon class happening this Wednesday. It is connecting with your spirits, deities, and ancestors. And you can find that by going to witchcraftworkshops.com and sign up. Ancestor spirits, deities, saints, all these things that we can connect to in the spirit realm, which is perfect for this time of year as well. So all those things going on. If you just go to Parlor of Wonders, you'll see a lot of these things on the front page. I think all of them are on the front page, right? If they go to Parlor of Wonders, so you can just go there and do your one-stop shopping, but get them in because things are going away and we don't want you to miss out. It's just amazing, magical time of year. We don't want you to miss out on it. So anything else? I think that's it.
There's a bunch of limited edition candles that we didn't even mention that are also on sale just for the rest of the month.
Oh, so that's right.
On the front page too, so make sure you check those out. They're gorgeous candles that will disappear very soon.
Yeah, we've got the Queen of the Witches candle. We've got a beautiful little royal jack-o'-lantern. We call her Princess Pumpkin at the shop. We also have, what else do we have that's limited edition there?
Skull.
Oh, the sugar skull. Yes, for Dia de los Muertos. If you celebrate Dia de los Muertos, or you just want to honor your ancestors, that's another beautiful way to do that. Yeah, we got some cute little, we've got things that we have all year round, like the cats and the cauldrons and those things. Those are fun for Halloween as well. So be sure to get your Halloween candles. We're so grateful that you're here. Thank you so much, you guys, for helping us feed the seniors. I'm going to send them $300 and a little bit out of my own pocket as well, so that they can feed these seniors today, really basically within the next 24 hours. So thanks again, you guys. Have a great evening, everyone. And I'll talk to you tomorrow, Love Witch. All right. Bye. Bye.